Good morning, everybody. This is the second video that is related to the sign-up process. My sound probably sound heavy this morning because it is morning here and I just woke up. But what we're going to do on this video, we're going to concentrate on the UI of the application. Now, I've created a project that has 3 screens, and this is my first screen, view controller. Second view controller, this is when we need to validate our code. And the third view controller is that actually this is like your main screen, or this is what normally happens in your app after the sign up. Now you can start with a new project like I just did, and you probably need to add these 2 view controller. In most cases, you probably have an existing view controller, and this is like your first screen. And what should happen in your application is that you shouldn't go directly to the main functions of your screen unless you pass the verification process. So that's what we're going to simulate. So the first view controller, just a few things that you need to do if you want to do it with me. It has 2 fields, the phone number and the name. Just again, it depends on your app, what you're trying to validate. Okay, it could be more than this, but these are the minimum information that we have. And I gave this a name, this view controller, in the identity. It has a title. And the storyboard identity, it's called Signup view controller. This is important. So you need to give it an identity. All right. The second view controller is the same thing. It has an identity, and this is called confirm view controller. And the last one is your main view controller. Okay, so those 3 different view controllers with different IDs. Also, this view controller has an associated custom class called view controller, which this is the one that comes with your app when you create a single app. Okay, so this is your first view controller. This one, I've created another custom view controller, which is called I think it's called here it is, confirm code view controller. So this one is related to let me go back. This one is related to this view controller. All right. And the last one has a view controller called main view controller. All right. I've created all the connections to all the outlet to the 2 text fields. So if you look at the view controller for this class, or the custom class for this view controller, I have 2 fields: the txt phone, the txt name. Okay, so you need to do that. All right. In addition to this, we don't have a button here that says join. We want to do it when we get to this field and the keyboard is shown, the return key says join. So when I click on it, automatically it will go and does the process. So what I've done in the class, you need to implement the uText field delegate. So you just simply put comma, and then let me just show you the view controller class, what it looks like here. The sign up view control, or this is the view controller. So I just simply, you put comma, uText field delegate. And I've done this in the previous video. There is an example on this on the BMI with text field. I believe we've done that. So what we're doing is that I'm assuming that you already know a lot of this because we've gone through these many times. So I have a text field delegate, and I implemented the function text field should return delegate method. And to do that, you just type in, if you don't remember, if you start typing text field, it should come here. Text field should return. It's already implemented, so it's not listed, but it will come in the list, and then you select it, and then you will of course hide the keyboard. So we resign the responders for those two fields. Okay, let me go back to the storyboard one more thing before we're done. And the last thing in this view controller, what we've done, we said also here I made this the delegate for this class, this text field. You'll see that delegate is the Signup view controller, and to do that, all you do is just simply right click and drag it to the view controller. Okay, all right, that is what we've done with the first view controller. The second view controller, there's nothing. We haven't done anything except we did the outlet. Okay, so in this view controller, we have one field called txt code, and we added in both of them. We added, like, when you first show your the screen, we focus the input to this text field. There's only one text field, so I said txt code become first responder. It means that I am setting the focus coming from different programming languages like Visual Studio. This has the focus now, so the keyboard shows for this field. Same thing we did with this one here. Okay, if you look at the view did load method, I also did txt phone become first responder. All right. Now, these are all set up. Okay, and I'm assuming you could do that. So if you haven't done that, pause the videos, create the view controllers, create the 3 different classes or 2 different classes. There's one already exists, and do the connections. Here, all you have to do is that you make sure, like I just explained to you, here you have, you implement the text field delegate. In the view did load method, make sure that you do this txt phone become first responder. The last thing here, you implement this method, text field should return, and we resign the responders. Okay. This one, the only thing we've done is just added the in the view. We did the connection, the outlet connection, and then all we did is that we said txt become first responder. Okay, the last one we haven't done anything with it. Okay, nothing. All right, are you ready to start? Okay, the thing, how it works, how is this gonna work, is that right now in your storyboard, if you have an existing project, probably you have this arrow sitting somewhere on here, okay, that says this is my first screen. Well, I'm adding 2 more screens here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say maybe take this and put it here. But this will happen automatically. That means I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't show this screen unless I'm not signed up. So I don't want it to go automatically here. I want to be able to control which screen I go to based on whether I'm registered or not. So how do I do this programmatically? And this is what I was talking about in the presentation. It says I don't need to go. I can use the storyboard to design my screen, but I need to rely also on some of the programming aspects on how we navigate from 2 different screens. Okay, so first I'm gonna remove this start point, or this is we call it the initial view controller. So now if I run my application, it'll give me an error. It says you don't have a starting point in your storyboard. Okay, it says there's no entry point in your storyboard. Okay, fine, we know that. All right, so what should we do? Well, I don't want to use the storyboard as my entry point anymore. So I want to go to the project setting. And do you see that? It says deployment, there is main interface is main. So what you need to do here, you need to delete it. Okay, and hit the, all right? So we don't need that anymore, and hit Command B. So there is no main storyboard or main interface. Again, if you run it, you're not going to get anything because you don't have a starting point. Okay, again, there's nothing. Okay, and there is no main storyboard. So what do? We need to go to the app delegate class, and then we need to add our own code to show that first screen. Now I'm going to do this first. Later on, as the application develops, we will do it. We will have some conditions just like this here to say, am I registered user or not? If I'm a registered user, we'll take it to the third screen. If you're not, then you have to go through the registration process. And how do you do this? I have the code. I'll explain it to you in a minute here. So first, you need to create a view controller. You set the window. Each application has a window, right? And your window is kind of like your desktop. This is where everything starts. So I'm setting the window, creating a window based on the screen size of your device. So if it is an iPhone 5, it will be the screen size of the device or whatever, right? And iPad will be the same size as the iPad. So this is the first thing you need to do. Second thing that you need to get, because I'm using the storyboard to do my user interface, I'm not using NIP files, I need to get access to the storyboard. Now my storyboard name is main. So I need to say, give me the storyboard with the name main. So this code will give me access to the storyboard. The last thing I need to, or not the last thing, the next thing we need to do is that we need to get access to the view controller in the storyboard. So if you go to the storyboard, there is this view controller. This view controller has a name. What's the name of that view controller? Remember, we said it has an identity. The identity for that view controller is Signup VC. So to avoid typing errors, you do is that command copy from here. All right. So then you go to the go back to the app delegate. Now it says, give me an instance of the view controller that is identified with this code, with this identity. So this is exactly like you creating a view controller in the old ways of the NIP files. But instead of using the NIP files, you're actually getting it from the storyboard. Okay, so it says, give me an instance of a view controller with this ID. Now, I'm ready to go. I tell the window that is my first screen, my root view controller, is the one that I got from the storyboard, which is this. And then I make it visible. So later on, this will not happen in all cases. We will have some conditions here. It says, if I'm not registered, I'll do this. But if I'm registered, I'll go to the last view controller, which is the main view controller. So instead of this, we will get the main view controller. Is that clear? So this is all we're going to do with the UI. Now, there's a lot of things happened here, but all of it, if you've used the previous tutorials, previous windows, previous videos, this should be pretty simple, pretty easy for you to do. The only part that is new is this part, all right? So now let's run it and see what happened. I got my view controller, and it set focus where? To this text field. Why did it set focus to this text field? Because if you go to the view controller for that one, I said in here, TXT phone becomes first responder. One more thing here with the bin storyboard. I use this because it's a phone. We said that the keyboard type is the keyboard type is phone pad. And for this, we said this is, remember that return key I was telling you about? So here it says join. So if we say again, if we go here, now if I say we type in some values, of course you need to do some validations here. And then I type in something here for my name. And if I click on join, it will call that return, should return method, and then it will hide the keyboard. All right. And this is where we will do the code to go to the server, get the confirmation code, and then if we got a confirmation code, it will take me to the screen and wait until the SMS gets to us. Okay. I'm going to stop at this part, and I will see you in the next video.